now.
All right, so let's just review real quick. We already did the closed reading with Pecco's Bill. Can anybody tell me what kind of story it is? Antonio. What kind of story is it, the one we talked about? Ezequiel?
A tall tale.
A tall tale. Antonio, can you tell me what kind of story that is?
It is called
Can someone help him, please? Rebecca?
A Tall Tale.
Antonio, what kind of story is it?
Tall
A tall tale. Tall tales have two important elements. Can anybody tell me what they are? Brett?
Exaggeration.
It has exaggeration. Michael, there's something else. It starts with the letter H. Do you guys remember?
Humor.
What was that?
Humor.
Humor. Michael, what does it have? Humor. Good job. All right, so we went over the agenda already. We read the story. We did the closed reading. We had a little bit of class discussion. And now we're going to cite our textual evidence to prove the motives. The what, boys and girls?
Motives.
Discuss character traits. What's the second one? Discuss character traits. And the last one is feelings. Can we say that last one together?
Feelings.
All right. Now, the objective for the lesson, can we read it together, boys and girls?
By
the end of this lesson, I will be able to what?
Identify
And explain.
character traits.
What is this again?
Character traits
Yes.
in the narrative Pecco's Bill
All right, we're going to pause.
and support my reasoning.
What is that word again?
Reasoning with textual evidence.
Now, who can tell me again what textual evidence is? Remember when we talked about that, Ezequiel?
Evidence from text.
Evidence from the text. And remember we had that worksheet about as we read, we wrote down clues for feelings, motives, and character traits. All right, I want you to please discuss one important character trait with your neighbor, the one we're going to write about, the first character trait for Pecco's Bill. So go ahead and discuss with your neighbor, and I'm going to go around right now, and then we're going to share as a class. Sue, foot, slew. I'm sorry, boys and girls, I didn't mention this. Here's the discussion starters that we're going to go over with today when we start our class discussion. So what you can start off with is, I believe Pecco's Bill is, and then continue the character trait, the one that, from your worksheet. I need to hear dialogue. You need to explain why. Make sure you explain why.
The part where he
Oh, he protected. Okay, I want you to say that because I'm going to come around and make sure.
and he was the fastest. You said at the end because his fiance, his one,
Is the fiance in the room?
is in the middle.
Okay.
Wait, I wasn't done.
All right. You guys have that worksheet, and it looks like this. And it talks about Pecco's Bill evidence. On the very top, take it out. And Christopher, can you please do me a favor and as a group share with the class the one character trait you decided that Pecco's Bill has? Which was it?
Brave.
Okay, so he decided that Pecco's Bill is brave. How many of you agree with that? Awesome. Under the character trait, can you put brave for me, please? on the top left-hand corner, under character trait, on the page right here, put brave. Now, Chris, can you do me a favor and share to the whole class why you believe Pecosville is brave, and make sure to use that in the sentence frame. I believe Pecosville is brave because.
I believe Pecosville is brave because the part when he was fighting with the vultures, he protected Widowmaker with so the vultures could not eat the Widowmaker.
Oh, so the vultures. How many of you agree with that? Good job. There's more? Great. How many of you think that's not a good character trait? How many of you think bravery is a good character trait? Okay, can you go ahead and prove and write that right there for your evidence? I believe Pecosville is brave because in the text.
Can we write our own?
Yes, you may. And what I went ahead and did is, for some of you who need a little help, I'm going to go ahead and put it right here. It's a sentence frame to help you. And it says, I believe or think that Pecosville is, and whatever character trait, right now we're working on which one?
Brave.
Brave. Thank you for sharing that. Because on page of the text, it says that he was able to, and Chris said that he was able to protect Widowmaker from the vultures. Did you say something about the lasso too, Chris, or that was you? And you need to give an example. Does anybody remember what page that is?
21.
21. Thank you, Ezekiel. That's awesome. You were. It's page 21.
The one that shows him right.
Go ahead and write. Go ahead and write what Pecosville is brave. Let's see how it's safe Widowmaker from the vultures.
I think this is.
Okay.
Good over here.
What is it?
A colt is a baby horse, like a young horse.
Pecosville. Who needs help spelling Pecosville? You have it because it's written here for you in case you need help. Okay, I give you about 4 more seconds.
What is he actually on?
He's on the colt. He's on the colt.
What is this?
Okay. Now, I want you to discuss with your neighbor a second character trait. So, you guys are familiar with think, pair, share?
Yes.
All right. So, with your neighbor, I want you to discuss another character trait for Pecosville. Something different from bravery. If you need to go back on the text and of the things that we reviewed in class, go ahead and look at that. So let's start discussing about a second character trait for Pecosville. So,
Oh, that's what we're just saying. Because he went down.
He went down. Fast because
So stealth? Stealth? Okay, why do you think he's fast?
Because he claimed
because on this part of the story it says
Is that when he scooped down in less than a minute?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that a possibility? In real life?
well no.
That's why it's part of the tall tale and it's part of the exaggeration. But that's a really good example.
okay, what about you guys? What did you guys think for the other character trait?
Strong. Okay, why do you think he's strong?
Oh yeah, strong.
So,
I'm not ready.
do you want to help him, Giovanna?
Pecosville is strong because
So you're going back to the text also.
when he got married, he ripped the sun down.
I'm going to come back to you, okay?
And
Oh, you got it? What was another character trait you guys thought? Strong.
strong? Okay, why do you think he's strong? On this page, what does it talk about? Bill, he had the sign, when he made the sign, pulled it on the ground, and he made the Rio Grande, and helped bring water to Texas. That's awesome. That's a good point. Thank you for sharing that.
No, you're not supposed to write it. Yeah?
Brett, what did you think? There's another
Guys, you're not supposed to write it.
because what?
To run a
Oh, okay. But do you have an idea? You do? Why do you think it's good?
Because he wrote
Is that something that can happen in the real world? Okay.
All right. I know you're still writing, but quickly, who wants to share another character trait for Peckles Bill? Something other than bravery. Brett, would you like to share, please? Thank you for everyone else who raised their hand.
Pickles Bill is courageous because he rode a cyclone or a tornado and he used a snake as a lasso. And you cannot do that in real life.
No? How many of you have ever seen someone actually ride a cyclone in the real world before?
No.
No one did that.
It's not possible, but if it were, do you think that would mean that they were courageous?
Yes.
How many of you put that he was strong?
I put Joe.
Okay.
Yeah, I put
Who put something other than courageous and strong for a character trait? Ezekiel, what did you put? Fast. Why did you put that he's fast?
Because I don't know which page it is, but it shows this picture, and it pretty much in the last sentence it says, he shot down the rock in a minute flat.
Oh, so when he went down the cliff all the way to the bottom, and what was the need or the urgency for him to go down to this bottom of the plateau? To save Widowmaker, his foe. Chris, did you want to add something?
Yeah, I want to ask.
Yes. Thank you for going back to the text and referring. That's awesome, guys.
It says right here that when he was little, he ran faster than the antelope.
Oh, how many of you remember that when Pickles Bill was little, he would run faster than the antelopes, he would outjump all the other animals in the wilderness. Good job. Thank you for sharing that. Joseph, what did you want to add? Okay, and you agree with Joseph what he wrote? Okay, good job. All right, now can you flip that paper over? And we want to talk about motivation. The reason why someone does something in the story. And I know we've mentioned a few. Peckles Bill did something. Also, Widowmaker did something. So I want you to go to your text and find somewhere in the text that talks about motivation. What is that word, boys and girls?
Motivation.
One more time.
Motivation.
So talk about it with your neighbor about motivation in the text. When some character did something for a certain reason in the text. Oh, I heard Widowmaker.
Like because he was holding down the rope.
Widowmaker's trying on the rope. So the group, yeah, he was jealous because
That's a good one too. Okay, you're gonna write that one. Oh, that's a good one. What about you guys?
he got so mad that he was jealous and he wanted to stay where his partner.
So how did that cause him to behave? If he was angry, jealous of Sue, what did it cause Widowmaker to do?
It's like a scale, like you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So what did Widowmaker do because of that feeling and that emotion? He stepped on the rope.
So he kind of prevented her from being saved? Okay.
Because he was jealous. Because he wanted to stick with his partner.
He wanted him and his buddy to hang out together. He didn't want no
Because
single
when
buddy.
they were little, they were all together, but now he got really big. Like he got bigger now. Now he wants to.
Okay, so is that the one you're gonna write about?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so go ahead and let's write that one down. Yes. Yes, you ready? Go ahead. You need to borrow the text. What are you guys gonna write?
You have to write it. Why was he like jealous?
Okay, try to think about in the story why people do certain things. You know, at that table they talked about Little Maker. He did something to cause Sue not to be safe. Joanna talked about the reason why Pickles Bill went down the hill and fought the vultures. Why did he fight the vultures? Because so what? So does he want him to be attacked or he's trying to save him? Okay, is that a reason for motivation? Trying to save the day? Okay, so I gave you two ideas. If you want, you can use one of those. If not, you can use another. I'm going to give you about 2 more minutes, okay? And then we're going to come back. All right, who still needs a few more minutes? All right, so I'm going to give you maybe 1 or 2 more minutes. Just we're talking about motivation, the reason why characters do things in the story. Why do they do this? Okay. Is that his motivation to save Sue? Why? Why was it important to save her? Yeah. Okay. You guys are doing an awesome job. I see how a lot of you are taking real good effort in writing complete sentences with details. I'm impressed. Did you write on your motivation already?
I'm just looking for the page number.
Which page? Maybe I can help. He's fast? No, that's this page right here. Where he goes and saves the vulture when he's watching him from the top of the mountain. This one? Oh, this one, that he's faster than all the animals in the wilderness. Good job. Thank you for going back and checking that out. All right. Who wants to share one form of motivation? So I'll wait for everyone to give me their full attention. Francesca, can you share one form of motivation in the story, please? Jealous. Okay, but that's the character trait. What's the motivation behind the jealousy?
Well, motivation.
Somebody's jealous and they did something because of that.
Oh, I know.
Okay.
Well, Little Maker was jealous because when Puckle Bill was getting married, Little Maker was jealous of Sue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because
Does anybody want to help her? Yes, Antonia?
Little Maker was jealous because his partner was getting married, and then that's why
Taking his buddy, huh?
yeah,
Thank
and
you for
then that's
helping her.
why
Oh, he's ditching him?
Little
Okay.
Maker stepped on the rope. Little Maker stepped on the rope, so his wife will go up in the lead.
Okay.
yeah.
All right, so we agree that Widowmaker was not very happy with Peckles Bill marrying Suefoot Slew, and when she had her bustle shoot her up into the air, Peckles Bill grabbed his what to rescue her? His lasso. And what did Widowmaker do with that lasso? Stepped on it, and he was preventing what? Yeah, the rope didn't reach her. She ultimately ended up going into where?
The moon.
To the moon. And where is she today?
The moon.
And how's Peckles Bill feeling about that?
Sad.
Do you think Widowmaker got what he wanted?
Yes.
Tell your neighbor why.
Yes, because he was about to